Hi, I'm artist Dana Haynes, and welcome to my channel. I got some really good news today, so I thought I'd share. I've had a bunch of health issues, which I've kind of discussed one here or there, but I got good news. I finally found out what it was. It's my thyroid, which I thought it was all along. And they prescribed medication. Well, maybe I should take these off because there's glare. But anyway, they gave me medication for it. And I took it this morning, and it's the first time I felt human in probably at least 5 years. I'm like really excited because I can get up and move around without shaking. I was going through it was so elevated. It was double what it's supposed to be, that, you know, just getting up and moving around and doing something normal like going to get a cup of coffee could be strenuous. And, you know, I'm not a lazy person, so, you know, there's a lot of guilt that goes along with, well, what the hell's going on here? Because, you know, I'm not lazy. So, yesterday I tried to paint the kitchen when I found out, because, you know, it was late afternoon and I was shaking so bad that, you know, I got halfway done painting the room. And you're talking to somebody that used to paint apartments in a day, sealing everything, you know. So it's just, wow, I feel human. Wow. And if anybody's gone through, you know, it was getting so bad, it was making me loopy and out of it, and just one extreme thing after another, and I'm just so relieved. And, you know, I'll be on medication for the rest of my life for it probably, but at least I know what it is, right? Which gets me kind of, I wanted to state what this art channel was kind of going to be about. I had this idea, and I did an art show maybe a decade ago now, before YouTube, way before I even really did YouTube. I get on here and look up a song or something, and I just didn't have time for it. But at the art show, it kind of showed what I wanted my art to be about, because I was doing this fractal art, and it, you know, and suddenly we could paint on canvas, you know, or print on canvas. So a lot of the years of working online and doing, you know, small cutesy graphics and stuff like that back, you know, when the internet was just exploding, which, you know, I'm a grandma, so I was there. At the beginning, when, you know, you could only make things, and like you had a choice of maybe, well, at the beginning maybe 24 colors, and then it got to 300 and something, or 256 or something like that, and it was really limiting. You couldn't blend or anything else. And so I'd make like cutesy folksy graphics, but I kind of decided right at the beginning, you know, I'm going to get on here and learn to use my drawing board, because I need to know how to do it. But I felt that learning programming and stuff like that was going to be more beneficial, that I wasn't just going to sit there and draw stuff and give it away for free or let people steal it. I mean, I did a website, and it did all right. It got decent traffic and everything, but I wasn't going to work for free, and the affiliate links worked. I made income off of it's like having an advertiser. So, you know, the website did all right, but it wasn't doing as well as I wanted it to. And I went back to school, and I did learn computer programming. So I know a bunch of different languages now. And, you know, just seeing that Adobe kind of invested in what I would know as Flash, they call it Animator, and bought the program for it and downloaded it, and kind of had, before going in the hospital, this idea that I was going to, you know, I don't want to make some characters, I want to animate. So, you know, big animation fan since I was little. I'm one of those, I want to grow up and work at Disney artist, which I don't know a lot of artists my age that didn't. You know, it was the end all be all to being an artist back then. That was the place you knew, you know, put out good work, quality work that you could get a job at, you know. But I was more of a Bugs Bunny kind of character, person. So anyway, long story short, I had this art show, and I did all this fractal art after my grandma and my dad passed. And, you know, my grandma is the one that kind of invested the time to teach me art when I was younger. I mean, way young. She was doing oil painting and stuff like that. And so, you know, we were sitting around drawing fruit and trying to do realistic paintings of flowers and stuff like that. And they were really on my mind when I was making that fractal art, because for years, you know, people think you were sitting around talking online on AOL, when really I was sitting around trying to learn HTML or this or that or JavaScript, you know. And so I just thought it was better I go back to school for it, and it would be important in the art world, you know. And we're hitting a stage. We weren't quite there when I did the art show, but I was really excited. Oh my God, you can finally print up nicely, not just on a cheap piece of 8x10, you know, printer paper, your artwork. So then I took it a lot more seriously, and I sat down and decided that I needed to get serious about being a digital artist. And I did a project, I called it my 365-day project, where I'd sit down and do a piece of artwork a day. And the idea of it was, it still looked to me like, well, as much as the printing cost, that it belonged on the TV screen, you know, that, yeah, it was great, we could finally print it up, but I didn't have the wherewithal to print up 365 or whatever it ended up being pieces of artwork to go display at art show. So, you know, I printed up one that I really liked on a huge, the biggest you could find, I think, was on Fine Art America. And I joined ImageKind because they do Gleasy prints, you know, the archival kind, and had another one printed up, two or three of them printed up for an art show. And I made screensavers out of the rest of them, which kind of bugged me, because it took a lot of effort to make all these, and even going the extra step and turning them into screensavers for a computer, when computers don't really need screensavers anymore. But the idea was that the artwork I was doing belonged on one of these big screens. And even then, I had a plasma that weighed quite a bit, you know, 30 to 40 pounds. And I went and there was a store going out of business, and I had one of the racks. I had it welded, the TV screen welded to the rack. And it was a video store. So I set all the screensavers that I made on the rack underneath the TV screen, and I put rollers on it so I could roll it around the art show. But it still had to have a computer, so I had to mount an old laptop to it to show what I envisioned. And now we're at a point where YouTube will let you upload a video that's longer than, you know, 5 minutes, or, you know, you can upload one that'll take an hour, and all you have to do, they'll let you loop them now. So now you can actually put artwork on your TV screen. You still have to go to the site, and you still have to, you know, look through them and figure out which one, you know, you want to play. But now I'm able to put a playlist of, this is my artwork, okay, and here's your TV screen. You just go to the playlist or pick one you like and hit loop, and it'll go through the playlist and it'll loop through the thing, so it'll match your interior. Now it's all abstract art, and I've kind of pulled back again and wanting to do traditional art. I paint my kitchen, and I'm like doing a farmhouse blue, and I think I'm going to do some more morning glories and some seeds to go with that decor. So, you know, I'll show you more. But I've been working on a wine splash, kind of thinking, because I'm decorating my kitchen, and it's a small little, you know, just little hole in the wall. So, you know, you have to put a little extra thought in it to make it actually look good. So this is kind of what I'm up to, but I wanted to bring up what the channel was really about, which is these no sound fine art pieces that you can put on your TV and brighten your decor. And, you know, instead of it just sitting there, this big black blob in the middle of your living room, you can now put some artwork on it. And I'm hoping that it'll get even easier, because the only way I can do it now is either let you do that through YouTube, and these are watermarked, through my website, which is going to be, I've been setting it up, it's like a Netflix, but for artwork only. You know, where you flip through and you'll pick one, and they'll be unwatermarked. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So I'm a really quiet channel. Other than I wanted to get on here. And the other thing that I want to discuss is, well, why are you doing this? I spent a lot of time with my kids growing up working on this. And right when my site before was breaking even, I went through a divorce, and then I got pregnant with my youngest child. So I didn't, you know, yes, I know it can work because I did it, you know, and I stayed in the top page on Google and stuff like that, which is even hard to do. So I know it can be done. And during the divorce, you know, there was a lot of, well, she's wasting time, and I wasn't. You know, I was learning, and I went back, and I'm like, I don't know, a couple of classes away from associates in computer science. So it didn't all go to waste. And part of this channel is when you have a health scare and you don't know what's going on with you, because, you know, they put me on some medication, and it ended up, you know, I had a breast cancer scare. And I went and got mammograms for a year straight thinking it was that. And then you find out it's a side effect from one of the medications. And then you finally find out, oh my God, it's my thyroid. And they give you medicine for it. And it's like, thank God, you know, this is actually working. So that's kind of where I'm at. And, you know, I put this channel together. I put off YouTube because it wasn't the right time, and I knew it. But the website will be where you can just flip through, pick the fine art that you like, and it's a subscription based. So, you know, small fee each month, you'd pay for that to bring, you know, decent artwork to your living room. And that's kind of been my goal all along. Make sure that people understand fine art. It is a fine art. One of the reasons I was picked for that art show really had to do with people not so accepting that it's a fine art in its of itself. And now, you know, we're proving that it is, you know. So here we are, and I'm working on, I hate to call them screensavers because it minimizes it, but at some point, either you can go on YouTube and pull them up that way, go to the website and pull them up that way through a subscription fee, or you can pick out the piece that you like, and it comes in a gift box set, wrapped in ribbon, and there'll be something in there signed by me, the artist, and you just plug it into your TV. And it's for personal use only. It's not for, you can't buy it and like upload it to another art site or anything. It's for your enjoyment, entertainment only. So that's where we're at, and that's what this channel is kind of about. And in the meantime, you know, when you have a scare like that, you know, you think you might be dying or something, because like, God, I'm telling you, that's what it felt like. I just felt like I was on fire. And you tend to go back to, okay, I wanted my life to be about art. I made that decision when I lost somebody else, and now you may be losing yourself. You need to think about what you're doing here. And one of the reasons I started making video of some of the stuff about, you know, business and art and how to make money. The next video coming up, how to make money as an artist, is because I wanted a guide for my kids, and I wanted something left behind that they say, hi, mom loves you, you know, and leave them, because my daughter does art too, leave them a guide. You know, they don't really, I mean, they know I do it, but they don't know where all I'm at. And so I'll be doing a piece video on each one of those. And, you know, after losing my grandma, I really wish she would have, you know, sat and maybe recorded herself telling some of these old stories and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, my grandbabies can look back on it and go, see, you got a cool grandma. So that's kind of what the channel is about. I'll be discussing different things about art topics and online artists in particular. And posting screensavers, at least for the next year, of all the fractal art that I did. And then we'll start getting into the more traditional. I'm doing, making speed paintings as you go, and learning to edit it and stuff like that on some of this, because I haven't worked with film that much. I worked with photography, and I did that for years. So, you know, new genre, and I would like to get to the point that I'm actually doing a comic, like Garfield or Snoopy or something like that. Not comic book, but we'll see. You know, one thing at a time. I have a list from hell. So if you're interested in following my art journey, like I said, I got good news today. It's a great way to start. So I'll see you on the flip side, and be sure you make sure you subscribe or hit that like button and let me know what you think. And if you have a similar situation going on and you've just been frustrated with the health situation, give me a shout out. You know, you kind of feel isolated and alone on here, and I'd like to hear from others going through the kind of some same stuff I am. So have a great one. See you on the flip side.